Hi everyone, we're getting really close to the end of the holiday and I am trying to finish Dolphin Song by Lawrence and John before the end of the holiday. So this is chapter 27. They're in a bit of a pickle, Martine and Ben. So let's see what happens to them. The men left the room then, locking the door behind them. For your own safety, the skipper told Claudius with a hyena grin. He had given him a blanket and virtually ordered him to use a torn sofa with protruding springs as a bed. After they'd gone, Martine and Ben had to wait an age for the cook to finish in the kitchen. It was only after he too had departed, a flick of a switch plunging the building into darkness, that they returned to the window. There were burglar bars across it, so they hissed to Claudius through the opening. Claudius almost had a heart attack, but soon recovered and rushed over to the window. Ben, Martine, thank goodness you guys are here. Whatever happens, don't let anyone catch you. That skipper is nuts. Somehow you've got to try to stop them. I'm not sure what's going on, but they keep talking about a test tomorrow at noon. I haven't been able to find out what's being tested or who's doing the testing, but it might have something to do with the dolphins. What about you? Ben whispered. Don't you want us to try to get you out first? Are you kidding? Claudia said. What, and run around chasing lunatics when I could just rest on this broken sofa, eat prawn dinners, and wait to be returned to my family? No thanks. If somebody brought me a cheeseburger, I'd be in paradise. Oh, I forgot, I am in paradise. Just go, you don't have much time. Okay, Ben said uncertainly. You were great, by the way. Awesome, agreed Martine. Claudia smiled. Thanks. Hey, Claudia, she added. Yeah? The kidnapping story beats the yacht story, hands down. Their first lucky break was finding the door through which the skipper and his cronies had exited was unlocked. The second was discovering that it led to a dark kitchen. Judging by the number of cockroaches which scuttled for cover when they walked in, it wasn't a particularly clean one, but they were too hungry to care. Inside the fridge were two big plastic bowls containing cold rice and spicy beans. Aside from a jar of pickled onions, there wasn't much else. The island menu seemed to be a combination of fish caught daily and meat from the freezer humming in the corner. Martine and Ben fell upon the cold rice and beans and devoured the lot with gusto. It wasn't the roast chicken dinner Martine had been dreaming of, but it was edible and made a pleasant change from the fishy fare on Dugong Island. They finished off the meal with a tin of guavas, which had been left out on the bench. I've got to say, I love guavas and I miss them in England. Occasionally I find some, but they're not as good as in South Africa. What do you think we should do now? Martine asked, wiping guava syrup from her mouth. A grease-smeared clock on the oven showed that it was coming up to 10 p.m. Look for evidence in a phone, Ben said. If they're working on a project or dealing with tests, they must have some kind of office. They tucked the bowls, utensils, and guava tin in a cupboard where they couldn't easily be found and padded silently through the other rooms. Their eyes had adjusted to the darkness, and here and there the moonlight offered some illumination. They found a lopsided ping-pong table in one room, and in the other ceiling-high stacks of cardboard boxes with Marlin Communications written crudely on the side in black ink. A stack of copper piping was propped against the door frame. Ben levered open one of the boxes. It was filled with nuts and bolts, wire and fuse boxes. He opened three more, each duller than the last. Nothing here, he said. It could be that they're ordinary communications or constructions work, and the test they were talking about has something to do with their project. It could be that they're just not very nice people. They looked at each other and both of them went, nah. Ordinary workers don't have undersea explosives, Martine reminded him, and they don't lock up innocent children. We've got two mysteries to solve, said Ben. Number one, why are these men so determined to keep people away from Dugong Island? Two, who or what is killing the dolphins? And are those things linked in some way? Come on, said Ben. We'd better hurry if we're going to find the answers by morning. They already knew that the dining area where Claudius was being held was a phone-free zone. So the office, if indeed there was one, was either in the staff apartments near the beach where they'd seen the men heading, or in one of the ruined buildings. Since the staff quarters were inaccessible, they decided to start with the blocks of rooms, taking along the torch they'd found in the cutlery drawer in the kitchen. They didn't dare switch it on, but pocketed it anyway in case of emergencies. It's like an abandoned film set, Martine said.